Alright, now let's head on to the final set of minigames, which is the Wario selections of minigames. So, I think the Wario selections of minigames are, some of them are quite fun, and some of them can be pretty tricky once you get the hang of it. So, Bob-omb Squad, the parachutes Bob-ombs are destroying your flowers. Use your slingshot to knock them out of the air. Hit Lakitu to blow them all up. So, this does remind me of somewhat of a similar thing from Angry Birds, except the fact that, well, obviously we have to utilize the touchscreen on the bottom screen, and this minigame is also quite fun, because you have to simply just manage to destroy a whole bunch of Bob-ombs in order able to actually rank up points, and the more you do that, then the more points you would able to get. Especially noticeable if you're trying to able to destroy the Lakitu enemy, then you would be able to actually let the Bob-ombs blow up at the same time, or destroy themselves at the same time. And when you're trying to aim for two Bob-ombs in one particular toss of the slingshot, basically you would get yourselves a whole bunch of combo points if you were to say so. So even then though, I highly recommend you do that if you really want to rank up more points. And of course the game will be over until specifically when all 4 flowers will be dead. So yeah, this is actually quite fun, honestly. Even though I'm very glad that this minigame does make a return from the likes of New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, so actually kind of think about it though, is the fact that when it comes to the actual starter minigames between the Mario selections of minigames, Luigi selections of minigames, and even Wario selections of minigames, I'm pretty sure that you're able to actually get, although I've already mentioned about the forms of in the Yoshi's minigames video, that obviously wanted and love me, particular minigames are actually the starter minigames. But then, as far as Mario's is concerned, I'm pretty sure it's more likely specifically Mario Slides, and I believe also Bounce and Pounce, if I recall correctly. But even then, it has been about a couple of days since I actually did manage to remember kind of anything else like that. And as far as Luigi's is concerned, well, it's pretty obviously, it's like memory match, and along with the forms of, well, I would say by the forms of Paragon. So, at least if I recall correctly. So, anyway, so let's go ahead and just keep on destroying those Bob-ombs, and hopefully we're able to try to aim for about, well, we already reached for about 30,000 points, which is quite great. And sadly, we managed able to let that last flower to be dead, but nonetheless, we got about 32,000 points, so that seems quite a lot, honestly. But even then, I did have a really great time. So, Snowball Slalom, rub the touchscreen to roll the snowman's head to the goal before the time runs out. The rocks will slow you down as well, touching the, well, you know what I mean. So, do apologize for the actual commentary error, just because, again, if I was trying to able to look up on the actual instructions for the actual certain minigames, then sometimes it's really hard to able to read it sometimes if there's like any small text here and there, so I do apologize for that. So, yeah, basically in this minigame, all you have to do is just basically you have to able to... Oh, so close! It was literally right there. Oh, hopefully I'll try that again, but, yeah, basically you have to be able to go into the snowman's head all the way up to the goal, and then that's how you have to do for this point, for the sake of this minigame. There's also the sequel to this, by the forms of later on, which I'll show that off once we reach to the very end, so either way though, come on, there we go. And the snowman is staring at me on the top screen, so how lovely. But anyway, but at least we got ourselves a high score at least, so yeah, that seems alright. I mean, despite it's actually quite short, so and there's also another minigame that I found is incredibly fun as well, Bingo Ball. Launch a ball into a numbered slot on the touch screen. That number will light up in the top screen. Get 3 numbers in a row to score. So think of like the actual regular bingo table kind of way, except the fact that it's almost like a Pachinko machine. Because obviously we're just gonna have to launch certain balls, and then hopefully, God forbid, trying to able to aim a certain amount of numbers, and then once you're able to get the, well, let's just say, for example, if I let the balls manage to land on 1, 2, and 3, that way it'll give me a bingo line. So, yeah, same self-explanatory if you manage to know what you're doing, but the only thing is kind of tricky, especially noticeable if you really want to try to aim for the full bingo. It's all about luck, really, mainly due to the forms of the Pachicos and all that stuff though, so... But at least I did have a great time with this particular minigame. It certainly feels a little bit more, well, relaxing as far as I like to presuming for this much. And I'm pretty sure that this minigame doesn't make a return in New Super Mario Bros., which is kind of a shame, because even then though, that certainly does manage to give ourselves some nice distraction, all things considered, if you really want to try to aim for, you know, all of the numbers to able to actually fill up the entire bingo table. But either way though, speaking of bingo, bingo! Anyway, I'm just trying to make a reference to something related to Sonic Heroes from the likes of Bingo Highway and stuff like that, so... yeah, that's nothing usually as far as I like to point things out. So, I suppose there's not much else I can say, apart from the fact that today's day is, of course, the 1st of April today, in this case in 2021, and it looks like that today is the April Fool's Day for this point today, even though there's not much else I can probably try to go for the April Fool's video or something like that at this point, guys, because, well, despite the fact that we still ended up on this whole disaster thing going on ever since about a year ago, in the UK at least. But, at least because I just really want to hope that this thing will about to end at some point. But at least we got out some vaccines and all that stuff though, but I digress. And yes, as far as you guys should know, that, unfortunately, for those of you able to actually, well, we're probably not going to explain about this again, just because I'm sure most people already know about this. But it's kind of a shame that most of these games have been no longer with us now. Mainly with Super Mario Bros. 35 now. And, well, rest in peace Super Mario Bros. 35. Even though I did have great times with you. But it kind of sucks that the limitations of the limited time only kind of thing just managed to ruin everything. Well, at least as far as I can usually get a huge standpoint for that point. So... anyways, let's move on to the next minigame, which appears to be Coincentration. Pay attention to where the falling coins land. Touch the blocks to retrieve the coins. But if you choose the wrong block, your game will end. So... this minigame is also kind of fun as well, and even then though, that I believe assuming that this minigame does make a return in New Super Mario Bros., but as far as I've noticed something incredibly different between the two is that, obviously in Super Mario 64 DS version of this minigame, obviously it's all sprite based, as you can see. However, if you manage to play this minigame from the likes of New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, that the actual models, or even the actual, the visual standpoints for this minigame is actually entirely different. Mainly due to the fact that it's almost like a, advanced computer modeling of Wario or something like that. Maybe, I have no idea, because it has been a really long time since I actually managed to play New Super Mario Bros. From time to time, so yeah, that's quite fun. Psyche Out. Are you, psychic? Can you guess what's on the card's other side? Maybe, if you stare at it long enough, a vision will come to you. And I gotta say, for this particular music, even though despite the fact I apologize for that mispronunciation for this minigame's name by the way, I really love the actual Dire Doc's slowed down music, because it's so relaxing and stuff like that. And I just don't get it of why this minigame does not come back in New Super Mario Bros. At all. Which is kind of a shame, honestly, because with the music itself, as well as the actual environment itself that usually takes place in, well, let's just say in Dire Docks or Jolly Roger Bay, that, oh man, this music is so peaceful, and somehow I just screwed it up. Yeah, if you get the wrong card, then the game is already over, so that was unexpected, but hey, at least it's something, but either way though, there's not much else to tell. So, speaking of something else, here's another fun one, which appears to be Slots Shots. The bars swinging open when a ball goes in a piranha plant, sink a ball into the pipe to trigger the slots switch. Get 3 items in a row for a bonus. So, think of like the actual pinball, except the fact that we don't have, you know, flippers to able to actually just launch the ball in the different places and stuff. So, but at least we can able to actually use the exact same, you know, the ball launcher thing ever since in, well, let's just say, bingo kind of minigame. And because of that, though, we can able to actually just rank up even more points to top it off. Like, you know what I mean? Just trying to able to actually just to keep on hitting these mushrooms and also just get into that pipe to activate the slots switch. And if you're mostly able to actually insert those little holes or trying to make those balls into those holes, basically I'm pretty sure you're able to get yourselves a freebie ball bag. So yeah, that seems kind of cool and all that stuff though, especially noticeable if you really want to rank up some more points to your liking, then you might as well do that. So, and honestly, I do really like this one, even a bit more than the forms of how it does it on, well, let's just say bingo, table, or whatever that minigame is called. Because, either way though, it's just the fact the matter is though, is the fact that you can able to actually, like, trying to able to see, you know what I mean. I do apologize that the actual commentary itself gets a bit slightly off again, but let's face it, until tomorrow anyway, that the new Let's Play should be up tomorrow. So because of that though, be prepared for some excitement until specifically tomorrow, and especially noticeable in during the forms of this weekend too. Because obviously we're about to be going back onto the Mario Party series of Let's Plays that we're about to be loved to redo. So, and also to top it off until next Tuesday, that we can probably hit on to another new Let's Play, so that way we can able to keep up with, you know, 3 Let's Plays at a time for different day schedules and all that stuff though, just like in any other popular YouTube videos out there, or even YouTube channels as a matter of fact. So I would probably be able to actually stuck with that still, so. And what's my final score here? Assuming if the slot machine is pretty much finished and done with. Not enough bonus, but at least I got about 31,400 points. So, yeah, it seems crazy kind of thinking about it. So yeah, I do actually enjoy that. So, and it looks like we're now moving on to the final 3 minigames, which first of all we have from that another page over here, which is Lakitu Launch. Shoot as many balls as you can into the tubs within the allotted time. So basically it was able to use the slingshot once again since Bob-omb Squad, except the fact that rather than just dealing with these Bob-ombs, now we need to deal with the forms of, well, technically if you're trying to able to say like toss the balls, but to be more specifically Spiny Balls, which because of that though, once the minigame is finished, then obviously it'll just let these Spinies come out of the actual tubs. This minigame can be pretty tricky though, I'm not gonna lie, just because of how the fact that I swear that the Wii U recording setup like I was doing, it seems it's not as easy with this setup, but at least I can able to do it no problem on the original DS version. So, but yeah, when the time is up, then it actually tells you how much points you scored, and that's pretty much how that goes. So, the last 2 minigames. So next up we have here is Intense Coincentration. There aren't as many falling coins this time around, but that you won't stop Wario. Watch the coins carefully. So this is basically, it's like Coincentration, except it's a lot harder compared to the forms of how it does it from before. Meaning about the fact that we have quite a few amounts of those falling coins this time. So it might not seem that much though, but at least we'll give it a try. So at least we got, okay, the game is already over. And at least I got myself all 3 of those coins in those 2 blocks, so at least I'm quite happy about this. So yeah, that's pretty much how that goes for Intense Coincentration. The last minigame in the Wario selections of minigames, and also the entire game, Giant Snowball Slalom. Roll the snowball over a longer course as before, avoid rocks because they'll slow you down. So yeah, it's like Snowball Slalom once again, except now that the course itself is a lot longer, and plus you do have more time limit. And also to top it off, that in addition to trying to avoid rocks, we now need to avoid those penguins. So, just in case you don't get slowed down with these two obstacles, or to be more specifically, the rocks is the obstacle, and also the penguins doesn't get in your way. So, definitely a bit trickier than the forms of how it does it on the first time around, which, to be more specifically, another version of Snowball Slalom. But it knows what it is. You just gotta go for the longer course, and that's pretty much how that goes. So, and unfortunately though, I was so close again because thanks to that penguin just going my way. So hopefully we'll try this again, and hopefully for a successful attempt. So yeah, you probably get the idea. So yeah, the actual minigames overall for Super Mario 64 DS looks really awesome. Just for the forms of the wanted minigame that I always enjoy, and also for the distractions of gamble minigames, and even some minigames I do enjoy. Although, one of them is actually a waste of time by the forms of Love Me and stuff like that, but aside from that though, it is definitely a lot of replayability if you're able to actually have some spare time and all that stuff. So yeah, that pretty much takes care of the forms of the majority of the Let's Play of the forms of... Oh, made it! For about, well, let's just say 25 seconds to spare? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's likely like that. So yes, that pretty much concludes the mini-games I thought I'd like to show you for this point, guys. And also, that pretty much concludes the entire Let's Play of Super Mario 64 DS. So I hope you guys are able to enjoy this Let's Play, because I surely do, because this is easily the much better version of our Let's Play of Super Mario 64 DS, and I'm very happy that this is a much more of a bigger improvement over the likes of how it does in 2016 to 17, so I appreciate about that. So yeah, this is me, Sonic the Hedgehog, from the likes of the Maxi Toys. Now I suppose that's pretty much all the 3D Mario games at this point. Oh, wait a second, someone said in the comments earlier, maybe I can do Super Mario 3D All-Stars next time. Yeah, this is gonna be a big one, but it wasn't going to happen until 2022, sadly, so things have to wait. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.